So then, welcome back to DTR on this Thursday evening for the second race of the season, and I need to get into spectators mode and have a look who is on track, as it is currently raining. So I think Scully may have gone out first. Let's take a look. Scully date, here we go. So yeah, full wets for this short qualifying session, and we are on board with Scully at the moment, and Scully is currently P17 in the championship, so he's doing better than he thought he would be, and he's doing well. He's having a good season so far as he comes around sector, I think it's sector 3, sector 2, sector 3, sector 2, and on his outlap as we get some of this shit on the screen. Track map, there we go. So yeah, Scully is the first car on track. And have I got anything on the screen? I think so. So we do not know any information on the race yet, if it's going to be a wet race or the dry, but this definitely should mix up the grid for qualifying. Everyone would have been practicing on time trial in the dry, so it'll be interesting to see how people cope in this weather, as it is a lot more difficult to master the wet weather on this game. It's very difficult as we enter Scully's first hot lap, as he comes through turns 1 and 2 here, touching the grass a little bit, getting out of shape a little bit there on the exit, so with no DRS on this lap, with it being full wets as he comes round turns 3 and 4. Scully is on the control pad, I think, so it's a little twitchy for him, as we've got a Alpine there facing the wrong way on track. Hopefully nobody hits him coming through that section of the track, as one of the Saubers pull over for Scully on his hot lap. Look at Scully there, purple sector 2. He's on absolute fire as he comes through into sector 3, down the back straight as he approaches turn 11, which is a 90-degree right-hander. And we'll have to see what kind of lap time Scully can set for the rest to beat as he comes round the last couple of corners of the lap. So again, no DRS activated with it being full wets, and he crosses the line with a 1:34.6. So we have no idea yet if this is a good lap time or not, but that is the lap to beat. Ralph does a 1:37.8 or 0.08, and that puts him in P2 for the B carb, as Daniel Juhas goes on pole with a 34.4. So we're on board with Hammers, who's beginning his hot lap. Brother Adam goes pole with a 33.8, the only driver in the 33s at the moment. F1 Johnny, he's the fastest man on track at the moment, the only guy in the 32s with a 32.9, as Lewis enters sector 3. A little bit of traffic ahead of him, and hopefully they will do him a favour and just let him past. It looks like we've got one of the Red Bulls just ahead. He kind of lets him past, and still just one driver in the 132s at the moment. So 11 drivers have set lap times and 5 drivers haven't, but Lewis is going to cross the line here, and let's see where it'll put him. It puts him in P5 at the moment, just behind Brother Adam. We've got Jack Kazingle in P3 with a 33.8. So jump on board with Jack, currently P3, as he comes during the final corner. Let's see if he can improve on his time of a 33.8, and he does not, but he will go again for another lap, so we'll stay on board with the championship leader at the moment, and Lakatsis sticks in on pole for the time being with a 32.1, so quite a big gap at the top at the moment, around about 8 tenths, as Jack loses the back end a little bit and gets on the grass, and he is not enjoying these conditions one little bit, I don't think. Let's have a look at Brother Adam, see what he is doing as he works his way into sector 3 down this back straight here, currently in P5 and in the championship. Brother Adam is in P5 currently with 12 points. Bog goes up into P3 with his teammate just behind him. Oh, we've got a Haas the wrong way around there, and it's Double. You know what, we'll give Double some airtime as he's I don't think he got much last week and he was complaining about it, so I thought, you know what, let's do a lap with Bubble. Let's see what Double can do on this lap. So he's almost invalidated there at turn 1. F1 Johnny, he's the quickest on track at the moment, 31.7. So I think the drivers are beginning to develop a bit of a drier racing line and get some heat into these tyres, which should see the lap times beginning to drop. Currently a 4 second gap between P1 and 15, so a lot of drivers struggling in these conditions. So Double up to P12 and into the gravel. I think we've seen enough of him. Wazza. He had pole in the qualifying sprint and won the sprint, and he's currently P2 in the championships, and Mercedes P1 and P2 with a total of 49 points. So these are the team to beat, and Wayne is coming through the what would usually be quite a fast chicane in the dry, obviously very tricky in the wet, whilst he finds himself currently in P13, and he's struggling for grip here as he comes through turn 11 and 12 and almost invalidates his lap. Wazza crosses the line, is he going to improve? He does. Wazza is up to P9, just ahead of his teammate there in P10. So the Mercedes drivers not as high up as they would like or expect to be, but this is what the wet weather does. I think on intermediates people would be a bit find it obviously less tricky, but the full wets really is difficult on this game. But it does look like there's a decent racing line developing on track as Wazza comes through. What turn is that? Turn 10? Is it? No, I'm miles off. Turn 6. But yeah, so the Mercedes drivers, I was going to say struggling in a moment. Jack is currently P1 with a 31.4 as we missed that, so the lap times are dropping quite quickly. Bob spun, he has not set a lap yet. I think he's still sat in the pits. Oh, he's out on track at the moment, so we'll hang on. Is this game done? Okay, so Bob, yes, Bob's done his lap time there, and he's got a 33.1, so up to P11. So currently P1 with Kazingle, Johnny is in P2, Bob P3, Brother Adam just behind him at the moment, with Daniel just behind in P5 and Hammers in P6. We've got a Ferrari crossing the line of Brother Adam, I think. Oh no, he's coming into the pits. Let's have a look at Double coming round this final couple of corners, see if he can improve from 14th. Oh, actually, I'm not sure if that was a no lap or not, but yeah, so Double currently in P14. Skipper, he's going to cross the line, see if he can improve from P13, and he does, moves up to P11. So currently around about a 3-second gap from P1 to P16, which is reduced by a couple of seconds. So currently Jack in P1, 4 minutes left to go in the session. So Sabre drivers P12 and P13. Got a few cars in the pit and on outlaps at the moment. Jump on board with Connor here as he comes round the final couple of corners. Currently P10 in the Williams, and both Williams drivers have had a good start to the championship. Currently P3 in the constructors. Let's have a look who's going around the final bends. We've got an Aston Martin, which will be Lekatsis. So he's looked quite quick around here. He's been in P1 for a little spell, and he's going to not improve on that lap, but we'll take a lap on board with the Aston Martin driver and see if he can improve from P7. So there we go, Connor, the only driver in the 1 minute 30s at the moment, goes 8 tenths quicker than Jack. So the track does appear to be drying out quite a bit, and the rain has reduced quite a lot as well, as the Aston Martin driver comes through the turns 9 and 10 into sector 3 here. Down to P8 at the moment, with Connor there sticking it on pole, but this track is getting a lot quicker, and all the drivers currently on the outlap. Probably should have come out a little bit sooner, I think, and done 2 or 3 laps, get some heat into the temperatures, but it looks like they're only going to have 1 or 2 laps with the time remaining. Let's have a look who is on track at the moment. So jump on board with Bog as he comes through the turns of 9 and 10. Ah, there we go. I didn't have the lap data on. I thought something was missing, but so Bog has gone for the intermediate tyres. So Connor set the pole time on, I think it was like 5 lap old full wets, and several of the drivers are now switching over to the inters, which in the right conditions will be a heck of a lot quicker than the full wets. And Bog finds himself currently in P8, and I think this will be his last opportunity to grab pole today. So as he makes his way through turns 3 and 4 here in sector 2. Oh, sector 1, sorry. Is it too wet for inters? I'm not sure, but top 3 drivers at the moment did it with the wet tyres and a few laps under the belt with those to get some temperature into those tyres, and Connor remains on pole at the moment. So Lacazes cannot improve. He is going to be in P2 at the very best. The Sauber drivers, Skipper and Composite, they're going to be starting at least in 14th and 15th. Scully is going to be in at least P12. Brother Adam finished as well. So Hammers goes up into P2 there with a 30.6 on these intermediate tyres. I think one more lap on those, and I think he would have been able to get pole, I think. But Bog comes around the final corner, seeing if he can try and break into that top 3, get up there with his teammate as he crosses a line, and Bog goes up to P3. Great lap from him. Yeah, Jack comes around the final corner. Can Jack improve? Can Jack get into the top 3? And he does, sticks it on pole with a 130.2. So great lap there from Jack. Still Daniel out at the moment. You've just seen him go into the wall. And Cavolis, he's finished his lap, so it's just Lacazes now who's going round the final 2 corners of the lap. And let's see if he can improve. He is on the full wets. And he does not improve. So Lacazes is in P5 and Daniel is still going around. He just needs to pit and retire. So here we go, ready for the race. It looks nice and dry and sunny for the race, and we are just waiting for the drivers to pick their setups, and we will run through the grid order on the formation lap. So here we go, going to run through the grid here. So we've got Jack on pole, the Mercedes team. Just behind him is Connor in P2. Behind Connor we've got the two McLarens of Lewis and Bogorovsky. In P5, Lukacis in the Aston Martin. P6, completing the third row, is Daniel, and just behind him is the second Williams driver of Johnny. Bob Spun is in P8 with Ralph just behind him. P10 is the Alpine driver of Cavolis with brother Adam just behind him in P11. Wazza, P12. I think he would have done a lot better in a dry quali, but he's in P12, so we should see him gain some places, I think, through the grid. Just behind him is Scully in the Haas with Skipper and Composite just behind him in the Sobers, and in 16th and dead last is Double, and that is your grid for the race. So we'll jump on board with the pole sitter and championship leader Jack, having the absolute season of his life, and he's doing pretty well on this game, and I've never seen him be so far forward on this game before, but he's doing well. Be interesting to see what kind of start Connor can get from P2, and he is on the inside, I think, by the looks of things, heading into turn 1. So the off-board views are pretty crap. Can't really see much, so we're going to jump on board with Connor, and it's 5 lights out and away we go. So Connor, not the best start there. He's getting swamped by the Mercedes as he heads into turn 1, keeps that inside line, and Hammers gets past him, and Cavolis, is it Lukacis? Sorry, Lukacis is right up there as well. He's on the outside there. So everything looks good at the moment. I don't think there's been too much in the way of contact as we jump on board with Bogorovsky here. We can see the battle for the top 4 places ahead of him, coming through turn 6, I think this is. Yeah, turn 6 and 7. This long bend here is turn 8, so no DRS on this lap, but that will be activated on the next lap. So I'm going to jump on board with Lewis here, keep a close eye on this top 2 battle just ahead of him. This is usually a pretty action-packed race, so we should Should possibly see a couple of safety cars being a street circuit, and let's see what Bogorovsky's up to here. It looks like he's having a bit of a battle with Daniel just behind him there. Johnny going round the outside of Daniel there through the fast lane, cuts the corner, and obviously he's going to get at least 1 or 2 warnings for that, and this allows the Alpine of Wallace right on the back of him. He sends it down the inside there, so good move from him. So F1 Johnny having a bit of a nightmare there through the fast chicane of 9 and 10 as he loses a few places in this midfield battle. Wazza up tonight, looking to improve on a few places here and try and get back in touch with the leading pack if he can. He's got the P90 here just behind Bob Spun. So no penalties as yet on lap 3, and usually see 1 or 2 penalties by now. This is quite a tricky track. It's easy to reach the track limits, and but yeah, no penalties at the moment, and we will head back towards the front. So Jack, something's happened with Jack going down to P3. A bit imaging that must have just had a bit of DRS on him. Lovely move from Jack. A lovely move. It looked like Jack had got the move done, but it wasn't to be. But he still remains in 3rd place, and he's on the back of these leading 2 drivers here. So Lewis leading the race at the moment, with the Katsis just behind, and Jack not too far behind him as well, as Lewis sets the fastest lap of the race as we come through turns 1 and 2. And still no incidents yet, no crashes, no safety cars, which is good to see. We've got Connor here having a look on Kazingle, and was a first person to get a penalty. Why are we not surprised? But and he's dropped down to P10. So not the best of laps for Wayne there, losing a place and gaining a 2-second penalty. He needs to try and keep that 2-3 seconds and do not get any more as we go 3 wide and into turn 11. In this lap 4, and Lewis has gone from P1 down to P3, so the battle for the P1 is absolutely brilliant. As you can see, all the cars here, I think it's like 1st to 6th or 1st to 7th, all in one shot here. So some great action here at the front as Bogorovsky gets past. Oh, Lewis is off. See any damage? It looks like it's just a spin. It doesn't look like he's got any damage. Unfortunately for him, he's got a penalty as well, so that's really not good for the McLaren drivers. Head back up to the front. We've got Jack leading the race with Cavolis just on the back of him. Connor's dropped off a little bit there, but that may have had something to do with the incident with Lewis. Double 3-second time penalty, so all the penalties are beginning to come in now as the Katsis has a look around the outside and gets past Jack through that fast chicane of 9 and 10 as we come through sector 3 on this 5th lap of this race. And look how close this is for the the top 8 drivers there, all in one shot. This is great to see. So I've had 4 or 5 different leaders of the race so far, so this is great. I think that's aided with the track having 2 DRS zones, which is broken up into 4 DRS sections itself, and this is one of them now where we are on board with Lacatsis, and Jack has obviously used that DRS to get right on the back of him. Obviously close the gap there to Jack as well. Just going to have a look at the back of the grid, and we've got Scully pitting for some reason. Maybe doesn't like those medium tyres or got some damage. Composite is a little way back here from Double, and Double is 8 seconds behind Skipper. So these drivers are in no man's land, really, just a few seconds away from everyone, and Lewis is back there as well after having that moment at turn 1. Ralph coming through 9 and 10 here, looking to try and stay in that DRS zone of Wazza. He does have that rear wing open, which will close the gap a little bit to the Mercedes driver, but he is on the penalty already. Just waiting to get some on the back of this large leading pack. So we've got yellows, I'm not sure who it's for. Daniel came to place here up to P5, and Connor is now leading the race, and Bog is in P2, so Jack is down to P5, so I'm just going to have to keep an eye on the front now, because these guys are switching places every single lap.
Johnny having a look
at Cavolis there. I think he's struggling with Cavolis, his connection, because he seems to be a little bit all over the place, so this becomes quite tricky to overtake when the driver in front is lagging all over the screen. So as we were from the previous lap, Connor leading the race with Bob just behind in P2 and Bob in P3. Jack has lost a few places to P4, and we've got a VSC, and looking at the track map, I'm not sure who that's for, but we do have the VCAB in the pits, I think. Did we not? No. Double is in the pits, so Double making the most of this VSC, putting the medium tyres on. That will gain him some time pitting under the VSC with all the other drivers under Delta. So let's have a look at position change. So Bazza at the moment, who's the big winner, up to P6. As the drivers are still under Delta. And it's green, and away we go. So green flags here after that VSC. The cat's this all over the back of Wazda there, nearly made contact from the looks of things. just taking a look at the tyres, and Gavolis has pitted, Double has pitted, and Scully's pitted. So the last three drivers on track have already pitted, and Gavolis and Scully are looking to get these hard tyres to the end, so they should catch on the pack once the other cars begin to pit. So the field is beginning to spread a little bit, but we've got this battle here for P2 as Bob overtakes Bog, gets the lead into turn 1. So Bob will get the DRS once again for this section. Turns 3 and 4 here, another VSC, and looking at the track, just cannot see who's past that. But yeah, again, cars under Delta, and Ralph decides to pit, gets a new nose, and he'll take these hard tyres to the end. So that's worked out well for him, having damage, and he may have been the one that caused the VSC itself. But back up front, Connor is still out in the lead with a 2.8 second gap to Bob in P2, and we have Bogorovsky in P3. Just behind him, 2 seconds down the road, is Jack in P4 with F1 Johnny just behind him in the Williams here on the same 9-lap-old mediums as is Lakatzis, P6, just a couple of seconds behind as well. Lewis has made his way back up to P7 after that turn 1 incident. Adam is in P8, Skipper in P9, Wazza is now in P10 because he has pitted and gone for the hard tyre as he will look to take these to the end. So we are still under Delta on this VSC. On lap 10, as we await the green flag. It shouldn't be too long, I don't think. Also, Daniel is DNF'd, so we didn't see that. So I'm assuming that is what did cause the VSC. Okay, I've just realised the game is saying virtual safety car, but it's an actual safety car. Okay. So, full on safety car, Connor in P1, Amma's now up to P2 as everyone pits, so that brings him back into the game, but he will have Bob just behind him on the brand new hard tyres as well as Bogorovsky, and with the next few drivers behind him all on the new tyres, new hard tyres, and Double and Scully at the back on the mediums, but they can group up back with the pack and hopefully get some good wheel-to-wheel action going for them. With a bit of luck, the safety car will be in on this lap if the two Haas drivers can catch up. I think they should be able to do it though. So fingers crossed it does come in this lap. Double gets a 3-second time penalty under the safety car. Fucking legend. And it's out for one more lap. Lewis is in the pit for some reason. Opted for the medium tyre. I think he felt like he would have needed to pit anyway. There's no point doing it under full race conditions, and he knows he can gain places. So Cavolis, oh my, what? How the hell does that even happen under the safety car? So I think Double has got damage from that. Yeah, lost his front end plate. And the safety car will come in this lap, so that has just absolutely ruined Double's race. He must be going absolutely mad. Not only did he get a 3-second time penalty in the safety car, but it looks like he's taken Cavolis out as well. So he does have a bit of history of doing this under the safety car, does Double. Back up front with Connor. Actually, we'll jump on board with Bob for the restart and see if he can make a good move on there. Connor on the 12 lap old hard, so I think the time of the safety car hasn't worked out well for him in his current strategy, and he's now ended up stuck on these old tyres where Lewis opted to ditch those for the mediums, hoping that him not pitting under the full race conditions, he should gain a lot of time from that if he can make his way through the grid. As Connor comes into the pit, and now Bob's front leads the race. So Wazza now up to P5, and his teammate just made the move on Bog. Can Wazza get a good run here on Johnny down this back straight into turn 11, and he makes contact, touches Johnny's rear left wheel, and hopefully Wayne doesn't have any damage from that, because he looks very eager to get past him. Coming through the final corner, going to get a good exit on Johnny here, and it looks like he has. The DRS has now been enabled. Wayne's wide though, that must have been at least a warning for that. So this is the battle for P4. Wayne does have at least one penalty here, and he has Lacatsis on the back of him as well. Jumping on board with Jack, as he has been closing the gap to Bob and making the most of this DRS. assist that he has. Just going to tuck in behind and use the DRS on this section. It should really have a nice easy overtake up this back straight, I think, if he can get it done. Nope. Remains in P2. Bob leading this race with Bogarovsky just behind, because he has a little moment there coming through 12 as he comes on the final corner in P3, hunting down the two drivers ahead of him, battling it out for this P1 position as Jack looks down the inside to get the move done and does not get it done. It drops to P3. This in turn brings Johnny on the back of Jack here as they make their way through these twisty turns 3 and 4 section. And only 3 drivers with penalties at the moment, which is good to see. I thought there would have been maybe a bit more than that. There's we ride on board with Jack, who was dropped to P3 after his overtake attempt on Bob into turn 1 on this lap, and Bogarovsky takes the lead of the race here on lap 16. So the top 4 drivers here quite closely, well, very closely grouped. And Wazza just behind. Wazza currently 1 point. Yeah, scrap that. So Wayne's struggling on these new hard tyres, it would seem. There's Havoc. Connor sets the fastest lap of the race on the mediums with a 19.7, currently in P11, was leading the race on the safety car but pitted to get rid of those hard tyres. As Johnny is all over the back of Jack here, and Wayne gets another penalty. Oh shit. So that's Bog having a little moment there. Was it Bog? I think so. So we got a VSC again. I think Bog needed to let Jack through there. So Bog down to P3 after that incident. Johnny remains in P4. So Wazza has dropped down to... Oh, Wazza has no wing. Okay. Not sure what happened there, but he was struggling on those hard tyres. Quite a long pit stop there for Wayne as he gets that wing fixed. And that is bringing him out in P12. So the game does say VSC, so it is the VSC. Safety car is parked up there in the pit lane. And that's Wayne down to P13. So Bob remains in the lead of the race with Jack in P2 and Bob in P3. Lewis has made his way back up to P6, so good call for Lewis on pitting under the safety car. And Connor's up to P9 as well. And we are green, so we are racing once again. Just above Jack there is he gets a little twitchy coming through 3 and 4 there on the exit. I think it was exit 3. Bog is now down to P4. Brother Adams a couple seconds behind him, and Lewis 1 seconds behind him. Jump on board with Bob here as he gets the run on Kasingle, makes contact, and tricky one. I hope Jack doesn't have any damage from that as he drops down now to P5. So that promotes Johnny up to P3 for the Williams driver, all on these 8-lap-old hard tyres at the moment, and that looks like the optimum strategy at the moment. Any driver on 8-lap-old hards is in the best position strategy-wise to get these to the end, and shouldn't suffer too much tyre degradation with that. As we come into turn 3 here, on board with Johnny. Johnny does have at least 1 penalty, so he's going to struggle to get the race win, I think. So this is looking good for Bog and Bob. So here we go, jumping on board with the Sauber driver of Composite, just behind his teammate Skipper. These are battling out for that P7 position. Skipper's light is flashing, maybe running a little low on ERS there. So we're on lap 22 of 29. We've got a closely grouped 6 drivers fighting out for the win here, with Lewis and Johnny both having penalties. So we've got race caution, and the safety car is coming out. So we've got full on safety car, and who's caused it? And Lewis has no front wing. So something has happened there. He's lost 5 seconds to Jack. So he's clearly had a little bit of an off and caused some damage. But this will be good for him because all the drivers are going to go to the softs. That enables him to catch up on the strategy with them, and he can put on the soft tyre. He's got a good gap of 13 seconds to Skipper, so that this works out great for Lewis. You know, you'd almost think he did it on purpose, really, because it's the only way, you know, he can get a podium. So I'm not accusing him of doing it on purpose. Maybe he's just a bad driver, I'm not sure. But this works out really well for him, so he can box here and hopefully he has a brand new set of mediums. A bit of traffic here as he comes in, and whoa. Thought he's going to make contact there with the Mercedes ahead of him. So in the pits at the moment we've got Borg and Bob on the soft tyre, with Brother Adam, Jack and Brother Adam, Jack on the brand new mediums. Latsis has stayed here on the 5 lap old mediums, and the rest of the drivers are on brand new soft tyres. So it should be interesting to see how these medium tyres hold up against these brand new softs. There will only be 5 laps of racing, I think, at the most. I mean, we've got Double at the back there, he needs to catch everyone up and he may pit as well. So we'll run through the pack, and we've got Bog in P1, and he is on the brand new softs with Bob just behind him. Brother Adam in P3 on the brand new mediums, with Jack on brand new mediums as well in P4. The Catsis on the 5 lap old mediums in P5. Johnny just behind in P6, and everyone from this point is on the brand new softs, with Hammers in P7. Skipper P8, Ralph in P9, Wazza at P10, and Composite P11 with Connor in P12, and at the back we've got Scully and Double, both on the brand new soft tyre. So this will be the last lap from the safety car, and then we will be green. So the safety car is coming in on lap 24 here as we begin lap 25, and Bob lets the safety car go in and he is gone, and we jump on board with Bob to see how he's reacted to Bog's restart as we head into turn 1, and Jack is here in P4, runs a little wide and gets the penalty for it, so that will Oh, Jack. Oh, Jack's had a nightmare on the restart here, so struggling to get some temperature into those mediums. Runs deep at turn 1, gets the penalty, nearly takes Brother Adam out into turn 3, yeah, turn 3. So, but he avoided that, which was good, and he remains in P4. So great battle at the front for this race win, and Bogorovsky and Bob. No penalties as yet, along with Lakatsis there in P5, who will be trying to get that podium place because he will leapfrog Jack, I think. Here goes Lewis down the inside at turn 1, gets the move done. That's nice, that puts him up into P5. There's F1 Johnny. Oof. Nearly contact there. Just behind, and I think Wayne was involved in that, I'm not sure, but yeah. Some cars behind that group nearly made some contact, and Wayne is up into P8 on these brand new set of soft tyres, but he does have at least 6 seconds of penalties, which is just going to send him all the way to the back of the grid at the moment. If the race was to finish like this, as Lewis goes through the chicane, he's side by side with F1 Johnny. So you've got Bob going round the outside of Bog into 9, and Bog just lets him go, and he will come back for it when he has DRS of his own, but he just wants to stay in touch of Bob and try and line this up on the last lap, I think, with the DRS down that back straight, which would be ideal. I think being in P2 on the last lap is probably where you want to be if you can stay within that DRS zone of the driver in front. Brother Adam is now up into P3 with Jack on the back of him here as they come through sector 1. Jack will get the assist of the DRS here down this straight, and he gets the move done but runs a little deep, but gets the move done nonetheless, so he needs to get a 3-second gap to Brother Adam if he can, to try and get this podium position. Wayne's gone. Wayne has DNF'd. We did see some flashes of yellow a minute ago, but I didn't know what they were for. But yeah, Wayne has DNF'd. He is out of the race, and that was predicted by myself as Bob goes round the outside and there's contact. Bob loses traction a little bit but does remain in P2. Lap 28 of 29 as we approach this last lap, and Lakatsis in P7 gets a 3-second penalty. Bob sends it into turn 1, and I think this will suit Bogorovsky being in P2 for that back straight, and that's where he's going to want the DRS for sure. So Bogorovsky possibly favourite to get this win, I think, at the moment, so we'll stay on board with him. Yellow. We do have Lukatsis off the track at the moment down there in turn 3 as Bog looks to send it here, and wheel-to-wheel action there, and that causes Bob to have a little bit of a slip there, loses traction. Bog gets the DRS after that, and Bob remains in P2 at the moment as Jack looks to send it on. Brother Adam loses traction, catches the curb, and the back end goes a little bit there, so he remains in P4. But coming around the final corner of lap 29, the final lap of the race, and Bog will cross the line in P1 and has won the race, and Bob is in P2 with Brother Adam in P3. Jack crossing the line in P4, Johnny in P5, and Hammers finishing in P6. Ralph just behind in P7. Skipper P8 and P9, so that's the Sauber drivers both getting points today. And double P10 rounding up the points, so double gets some good points there. And Connor in P11. So yeah, with the podium, Bog receiving his first place trophy there. Congrats to him on the race win. Sharing the podium there with Bob and Brother Adam. So that is the second race of the season done. Bog gets the win for McLaren, the Mercedes drivers P5 and the DNF. So that's a big one for the constructors, but they were out, they had a massive lead already on 49 points, with Red Bull just, well, quite a bit behind on 21 points, but good points for McLaren, who were in 5th position in the construction on 16, so good points for them, and so good race overall. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next week. I think Nelboy should be back with all his fancy graphics and stuff like that, so you'll have a better stream to watch next week. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.